Good morning, first grade. So this week we are going to be on continuing working on combinations of 10 because it's really important for us in first grade to understand combinations of 10 because when we get into our addition and subtraction, we're going to be working with those combinations. So a great story that I always read is called 10 Flashing Fireflies. And as we read it, we are going to complete the number of sentences that we are seeing. So let's go ahead and get started. So it's 10 flashing fireflies. What do we see in the summer night? 10 flashing fireflies burning bright. Catch the one twinkling there like a star. One flashing firefly in our jar. So we're going to put one flashing firefly in our jar. So how many, if we had 10 flashing fireflies, how many do we have now? So if there's one in the jar, that means there are 9 still flying around. So 1 and 9 make 10. What do we see in the summer night? 9 flashing fireflies burning bright. Capture another one. Now there are, so we captured one, we captured another. How many are still flying? 8. 2 fireflies are in the jar. Okay, so if 2 fireflies are in the jar, how many are still flying around? 8. So 2 and 8 make 10. What do we see in the summer night? 8 twinkling fireflies, blinking bright. Let's catch one now. There are, so if we catch another one, so we had 2. If we catch one more, we'll have 3. 3 twinkling fireflies are in our jar. So now that we have 3 in our jar, so if there were 10 altogether, that means we have 3 in a jar. How many are out and it's still flying? 7. So 3 and 7 make 10. What do we see in the summer night? 7 bright fireflies. What a sight. Catch the one by the bush. Now there are, so I had 3 fireflies in my jar. I catch another one. That means there are 6 still flying and 4 are in our jar. 4 flicking fireflies are in our jar. So if there are 4 fireflies in our jar, how many are still flying around? 6, because 4 and 6 make 10. What do we see in the summer night? 6 sparkling fireflies blinking bright. Catch one flying high. Now there are, okay, so we had 4. We catch another one that's in our jar. What will I have? 5. I'll have 5 fireflies in my jar. 5 fireflies are in my jar. So if I have 5 fireflies in my jar, how many are still flying around? 5, because 5 and 5 make 10. What do we see in the summer night? 5 fireflies burning bright. Get one way up there. Now there are, so if I have 5 already in my jar and I grab another one, I now have 6 fireflies in my jar. 6 sparkling fireflies are in my jar. So if there are 6 in the jar and 10 are flying all around. How many are now still flying around? 4. So 6 and 4 equal 10. What do we see in the summer night? 4 fireflies flying, flashing lights. We caught another one. Now there are, okay, so we had 4 that were still flying around. I catch one more. How many do I have? 3. So there are 7 bright fireflies in the jar. Look how bright her bowl is getting. Just getting brighter and brighter because there are now 7 fireflies in her jar. So how many are now still flying? 3. We have 3 still flying because 7 and 3 make 10. What do we see in the starry night? 3 twinkling fireflies, glowing light. I've caught another one. Now there are, so if we had 7 in our jar, she catches another one. How many do we have in our jar? 8. And so how many are still flying? 2. 8 twinkling fireflies are in our jar. So if there are 8 twinkling fireflies in our jar, how many are still flying around? 2, because 8 and 2 make 10. 9 flashing fireflies are in our jar. So we're going to have 9 in our jar. How many are flying around? 10. So what happens if she catches another one? What do we see in this dark, dark night? 1 flashing firefly's lonely light. I'm glad we caught it. For now, there are, how many are in there now that she has caught them? There are 10 because she caught one, another one, and he was the last one. So there was 9 in our jar. She catches one more and it gets us to 10. 10 flashing fireflies are in our jar. So all of the flashing fireflies are in our jar. Wow, look how bright her jar is. That's so exciting to have all those flashing fireflies in her jar. Let's go to bed by the jar's bright light. Pull up the covers and say good night. Watch them all carefully. Look, they are, I wonder what's happening. Blinking so slowly in our jar. I wonder why they're blinking so slowly. Open the jar, for it's much more fun watching them fly away one by one. Fly out the window and flash goodbye. Fly away, fly away. Fly, firefly. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dash away, flash away. Now there are none. That's a pretty good book. So Fireflies in the Jar teaches the combinations of 10. So what you'll be doing is on your assignment in Schoology, you're going to be showing me the different combinations of 10 using the Firefly book. When you're done, submit it into Schoology.